Do you understand why no one gets married anymore?
I don't really care what other people do.
Of course, but do you understand why nobody gets married anymore?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of reasons
What
why.
are the reasons?
Like dating in general is really fucked up. I think it has a lot to do with social media. Like, I feel like that's a majority of it because it's like grass is always greener on the other side kind of thing. Like,
that's part of it. Yeah.
I don't know. I just, for me personally, I don't care what other people do. As far as
who sees the grass greener on the other side, though, in your opinion?
Everybody. I think everybody sees, like, you know, all the expensive bullshit and this and that and whatever on social media, and they think, oh, I want that and this and that.
You think that men actually think that, though? Like the grass greener on the other side, there's these rich chicks
I don't think. I think speaking generally over a demographic of people is ignorant. I think that's stupid. I think it's situational from person to person, and I don't think that you can. I'm not going to sit here and be like, men do this or men do that, or women do this or women do that. I think that's stupid.
Well, you have to speak in generalizations when you make a point, because if I know what you're saying, but when you make a point or you debate something on a podcast, for example, if I were to say men are taller than women, I can't say men are taller than women, except there are some women who are taller than men, e.g. this one. Exceptions don't disprove the rule. So we have to make very generalized points.
Yes,
and the reason I know, and I understand you have your personal views, and this is a life hack for all of you women, in case you're ever debating anything in future. Women have this amazing feature of their minds, and it's like it ties into your natural innate narcissism. And the reason you have narcissism is because you have to protect yourselves and prioritize yourselves because you have to stay alive for the children. And humans, us men, have made you narcissists for a reason, because we want you to prioritize yourselves so that you can have kids. I'll give you a very simple example. If there's 100 men and 100 women, then why do the men go to fight and die? Because think about it.
Because they're biologically
No. Think about no. There's no need for that. If there's 100 men and 100 women in the tribe, why do we as men go die? Because we can send our women to fight their women. Why don't we send the women to die? Why does us men go do it? And I'll tell you why.
Because they reprocreate?
No, I'll tell you why. Because if 80 men die and 20 men come back, those 20 men can have sex with the 100 women and the tribe will continue. Whereas if 80 women die and only 20 women are left, the tribe is over. So female life is actually more important than male life. It always has been for a very long time. That's why it was men stay on the Titanic, women and children get off the Titanic. This is the way it's always been. So we have helped you through the process of evolution become narcissistic. And that's very important for human survival. But I want to give you a tip for when you're debating. Whenever you discuss a meta point or a larger point, what women always do is put it back to them. We're not actually fucking talking about you. We're talking about men, women, society, marriage, the country we're in, failing birth rates. Well, no one gives a fuck what you want. We're not talking about you. We're talking about things in general. So I'll re-ask the question. I didn't ask you if you want to get married, because I don't give a fuck. I'm asking, why do you think nobody gets married anymore? And it has nothing to do with you. It's actually me just asking your opinion.
Right. Social media, I feel like, here specifically, I think a lot of people come here because they want certain things that are materialistic, specifically Miami. Like, a lot of women and men, it's transactional. People just want money and they want status and whatever the fuck.
Correct. And I'll tell you another reason why men and women don't get married anymore. Because it used to be a very simple transaction. And women no longer stick to their side of the transaction. The transaction was simple. You're a virgin who listens to me, and I take care of you and pay all of your bills. That was the transaction. I will put you in a house. I will give you children. I'll work in the factory. I'll take care of all that shit. You're going to do as I fucking say, and you're not going to fuck any other dudes. That was the transaction. Women are not sticking to their side of the deal anymore. That's why any man with a brain doesn't get married. That's the truth of it. No man with a brain is going to get married anymore, because what is he getting? He is signing up to be raped by the government. It makes no sense. He's not even getting a wife in the traditional sense. He may get married, but he's not getting a wife. The wife you got in 1970, 1960, 1950 is 1,000 times the wife you get today. If I said to you got married, you had to obey your man's commands, would you say, yes, I'll do anything my husband says?
Yes.
You'd obey everything he says.
I've
what if
only
he can't provide?
Again, I'm bringing it back to me, but I've only ever been obedient to the men that I've dated. I listen to them as long as my non-negotiable, if you will, is cheating. I will build
All right, but can't they make the argument? Can't they make the argument that you do pornography, so therefore
I would
you
delete-
relinquish that ability to tell him he has to be monogamous?
Yeah.
For me
What if he told you
personally,
that?
then I would delete that shit. I delete my Instagram.
They can find it. They can see it.
But if it's a problem as far as me actively selling whatever, doing this, that, I'm deleting that shit. I don't care. Like, I'm gonna prioritize your.
But you do understand, like, the internet's forever. People can use
And that's
Wayback
on
Machine.
that.
They're
Like,
gonna find
that's-
it. They're gonna send it to him. This is why so
Sure.
many girls that do porn can never stay in relationships. Guys constantly send videos of their girl having sex with other dudes.
Facts.
I've never personally had an issue with somebody that I was dating where they said, I don't want to be with you because of this reason. But I also, like I said,
But
am
they cheated,
like,
though.
okay,
Yeah.
well, no. Like, some of them did. Some of them didn't.
Wait,
Because you're
so?
boring.
You said you broke up with most of them. Why? Could you give like the general reason why, on the balance of probabilities, you broke up with majority of them?
The guy that I dated for the longest, it was like a little over 3 years. We almost got engaged. He just had no like motivation to do anything with his life. Like, he was like,
3
years.
years.
and you're
above?
saying that money doesn't matter though, and ambition doesn't matter. But
I'm
it's
talking about like,
ambition.
Yeah, you don't have a life. You don't. You're coming home. You're getting high as fuck every single day. And you have no
3 years, though?
personality. You have no.
Yeah, but if he was ambitious and he was trying his very best, we would
or
argue
just
that he's,
hobbies,
Of course.
like something, do something.
most
with your
men,
life.
but most
Like,
men who are active and energetic and who are doing things are doing what? They're making money.
Yeah, hobbies
I mean,
like that.
99% of the
That's not a
time.
real man. That's a boy.
But I understand what you're saying. I'm just making the meta point about why marriage is broken in this modern world. Marriage is broken
I
because
agree. I think it is.
Okay,
I'm not saying that I disagree with you in that sense. I think it's fucked up.
oh, it is fucked
Yeah.
up, and I don't want to place blames on an entire gender, and I don't want to generalize. But I'm arguing that it is easier to find a man who is prepared to give you a modest house and a picket fence and go to work and have a car and make sure the house is safe. It's much easier to find that than it is to find an obedient woman who hasn't been fucked all over the place. So women have broken this contract. Guys, you have to understand what feminism has given you women. You have pushed for feminism and it has destroyed your lives. There was a point where men couldn't cheat. Do you know when it was? It's when everyone got married in the 1960s to their high school sweetheart.
Yeah.
Then men, even men, were ostracized for cheating. Even men were seen as bad for cheating when men and women got together in their teenage years, stuck together. But women sat there and said, I don't want to listen to my husband. I don't want to be told what to do. I want to be free. I want feminism. So now you've been given freedom, and what do you have now? You have a few women chasing all the men, being fucked all over the place, not even getting kids out of it. A bunch of other women who can't find a rich man who have to sell pussy for fucking pennies. Feminism has destroyed your lives. Completely taken everything from you. Now you have to go out there and try and find a man who will marry you, and it's very fucking difficult because a lot of men don't even want to get married anymore. Feminism has wrecked the entire game for you. You pushed for it and shot yourselves in the foot. That's
more
what's
housewives.
actually happened.
No
And
more
it's ridiculous. How has feminism, outside of bullshit rape cases and Me Too garbage, but in terms of general interactions in society, how has feminism hurt men? Because feminism's great. I get fucking different girl every fucking day.
Yep.
These stupid bitches buy their own taxi in and own taxi out of my fucking house. They think they're fucking getting something out of me when I'm getting everything out of them. They're fucking, I say, do you want me to pay your bills? No, I'm a boss girl. Well, then pay your own shit, dummy. Like, bro, feminism's great for any man with a fucking brain. You women are wrecking yourselves. All because you didn't listen to your fucking fathers. You should have listened to men, because you know what your dad would have said? Find a man at 18 who's 45 years old, like I'm telling my daughter when she's older, have some fucking kids, make sure he pays your bills, and behave yourself. You fucked your own lives up.
You know what's also interesting? It's MLK Day, interestingly enough. Even MLK was running around having sex with a bunch of chicks.
yeah, he
He
was.
hit that shit.
White girls.
We had to find
Yes.
out
White
through
girls.
declassified.
Yes.
He hit it.
We had to
It wasn't
find out through
acceptable.
And he was
declassified
married.
FBI
My nigga.
documents
My nigga.
that he was running around cheating on people. We didn't even know. For decades, no one knew that he was cheating. So it was some fun.
Feminism made men cheating acceptable.
Yep.
You gave us the card with your feminist bullshit. If you were all still like, no, we're wives, we marry the first man we have sex with, we're gonna obey, we're gonna be home, we're gonna take care of the house, we're gonna have your kids, then everyone will be saying to men, you can't cheat.
But there's reasons why they stopped doing that, though.
They stopped doing it. I'll tell you why. Let's actually analyze this. I'm going to guess because I don't know for sure, right? But if you talk to a feminist, and I've debated a bunch of them, they're going to say, well, in the 1950s, what if their man was abusive? What if their man was mean to them? That's one of the reasons, no?
Yeah, but one of the main reasons, like, men, if you get with somebody that's 45, and he wants you while you're young. When you get older, he's gonna leave you for the next one.
When you
know
get
already.
older, he's dead.
Sometimes.
When you get older, he's gone.
Sometimes, if you don't have a kid, you know, like you said, you don't have an asset.
But you're gonna have a kid. That's that point.
Most of them, they need to have kids. Most of these girls are sending kid back to God. They're aborting them as soon as they get pregnant.
The reason that women were so unhappy with the old marriage contract that people used to have is that some men were pieces of shit.
Yeah.
And some women are pieces of shit. Some people are pieces of shit. In the 1960s, when you got forced, basically, by society to marry the first person you had sex with, perhaps there was a percentage of households where women, unfortunately, got stuck with an alcoholic dickhead or an abusive man who beat the shit out of her. That's true.
Yeah.
But I would argue that in 97% of households, the man was just going to work and paying the bills.
Yeah.
So we've taken the exception and used it to destroy the rule. I'm not saying men are perfect. I'm not saying there wasn't fucking morons. I'm not saying that some women didn't have a hard time. Of course they did. What I'm saying is that we've taken those small examples, and feminism as a whole does this. It takes small examples and extrapolates them out. It's very interesting you said something about generalization of the population, because feminists do this the most. Men have all the power. No. Rich men have all the power. Poor men have no fucking girlfriend, are lonely, and are jerking off every day. Poor men have nothing. No social status, no sympathy from society, no kids, no woman, nothing. A few men have the power. 0.5% of men have the power. Yes. And you're applying that to all men, saying that the patriarchy's evil and that men have all the power. No, actually, most men are far below women. The true power structure of Earth is 0.3% of the ultra elite men. Underneath him and underneath them are attractive women. You have the second best life on the planet. Underneath that, you have mid women. And underneath that, you have broke dudes at the fucking bottom.
But here-
So this extrapolation is very important. So we're going to sit, and if you talk to a feminist, they're going to say, yeah, but the women who were forced to be with a man, one of them might have hit her. Maybe some dickhead in Montana got drunk in 1962 and hit a bitch. Maybe, probably. Of course, some people suck. What I'm saying, society was better when a woman met a man with the intention of having a family, and they stuck together, and the man and the woman were both expected to be loyal to each other, and they had kids. Women said, we don't want that. We don't want to be told what to do. We want to make our own choices. We want to party. We want to run around and do whatever. Girls just want to have fun. Material Girl by Madonna. We want handbags. Well, now you fucking got it. Now you got to share a few dudes at the top with all the money, and they don't want to have kids with you. They just want to fuck you left and right. And that's how you get disrespected. Every girl I've fucked without giving a kid was disrespected. I've never disrespected any of the mothers of my children because they have perfect, beautiful lives, and I gave it to them. I did.
Guys, real quick, we're gonna do a